Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. It's time for another gaming vlog. We're going to talk about paper and pencil D&D from back there. We're going to talk about Star Wars The Old Republic. And we're going to do a little bit of a preview book review type of a deal. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so for this gaming vlog, we're going to talk about the last gaming session we had at that table back there. That was on Friday. Friday was April Fool's Day, and I'm not a big fan of April Fools. I've been burned many a time throughout the years, and so just like I don't go out drinking on New Year's Eve, because there are an awful lot of amateurs out there on New Year's Eve, and St. Patrick's Day both, but particularly on New Year's Eve, I tend to stay home because bad things happen when amateurs start drinking en masse. So the same goes with April Fools. After you've been burned, when you're 40 plus years on this earth and you've been burned many, many times on April Fools, you just kind of say, okay, that one day a year, I'm going to avoid the internet because I can't believe a damn thing that I see on the internet that day. And I'm going to try and avoid human contact as much as possible on that day. But our gaming group meets on Fridays, and that just happened to be April Fools. So when everybody got here, I think some people were expecting me to be the prankster, and I made it very clear that I don't do that shit anymore. So, and the DM at the time said, kind of under his breath, he says, oh, well, you're not going to, something about, well, you're not going to like this, or something like that. And I kind of just dismissed it because I thought he was just joking off, and all that. So we get into the game, and our party was traveling from one location to another, and so we happened to be in the wilderness. And we had been camped there, and he had rolled at the end of our previous session. I believe he had rolled to see if there was going to be any random encounters, and he had said that there definitely was going to be, but we had to stop or whatever. So we knew that there was going to be a random encounter. So we had our crazy ass wizard on watch when it happened. And when I say crazy ass wizard, I'm going to give you an example of why we call him that. He has this thing called the Kawoosh wand, and I think I've talked about the Kawoosh wand before, but the bottom line is it does a random effect. It's kind of like a wand of wonder. If you're an old school player, you'll know what that means. It does random fire related effects when you use it. You roll 20-sided die and there's a random effect. It could be a fireball, it could be a flame strike, it could be that it fizzles, it could be that it blows up in your face. I mean, there's all these different things that could happen, good and bad. And this wizard, he loves this damn wand. It's his favorite thing in the game. His favorite magic item, favorite weapon, his favorite thing to use, everything. And in a previous session, this wizard had gotten his hand cut off in a combat. So he decides to jam his Kawoosh wand into the stump to be able to use it. And then when he gets back to town, we survive the combat, get back to town. He has the clerics actually graft. He took his hand that had been severed with him, and he had them graft the hand back on with minus the middle finger. And he had them fuse the wand into the hand, so that is his permanent middle finger, is his Kawoosh wand. That explains why we call him our crazy ass wizard. So he happened to be on watch when this happened, and there was we don't know if it was a druid, we don't know if it was another wizard, but somebody was in camp just like that. He was sitting at our campfire and surprised the wizard and said, "Welcome to my woods," or something like that. And then he disappeared. And the very next thing you see is we have a hill giant attack us in the camp. So we all have to get up. We have to fight the hill giant and everything. We defeat the hill giant. And then you hear laughter coming from the tree line or somewhere. And then out of the tree line, here comes a stone giant. So we have to fight the stone giant. We fight and kill the stone giant. Then you hear more laughter. And then, of course, out of the woods or wherever, all of a sudden here comes, you guessed it, a frost giant. There is a progression that we're seeing here. And so we have to fight the frost giant. And we kill the frost giant, and then, of course, there's laughter, and then a fire giant. Here's where things kind of went off the rails. This DM has a rule, and it's probably a good rule, that if you happen to pick up a monster manual while you're in a combat, and you happen to be looking up monsters, whatever you're fighting, double that amount will spawn, in addition to whatever it is you're fighting. For whatever reason, I was looking up a cloud giant, and I was looking it up because I wanted to know the alignment, because we'd already seen the progression here, and I was just curious. I was like, well, if the cloud giant, I couldn't remember if the cloud giants were neutral. I didn't think they were good, but I couldn't remember, and so I decided to look up the cloud giant. I'd forgotten about this guy's rule, and I'm looking up the cloud giant, and he looks over and he goes, "Are you looking up a monster?" And I'm just like, nope. And he's like, "That's it," and he grabs 2 more fire giants and puts them out. So now we're fighting 3 fire giants. Now, our levels are right around level 7, level 8. Some of us are 8, some of us are 7, I think. So we're, level 7, 8, whatever. And fire giants are well above that. They're stronger than that. So, in the meantime, of course, we are all depleting everything. Our wizard and everybody is low on mana because we haven't had a break. We've been fighting giant after giant after giant. So everybody's running out of mana. People are getting low on hit points. Our druid is running out of healing spells or whatever, and it's not looking so good. So we start dying, and I mean like dead, not like unconscious. I mean like they're killing us, including me, my barbarian. And so we're all starting to think, oh crap, this is a TPK, to the point where the druid, I think it was the druid was left, and our fighter. And our fighter is valiantly taken out. He takes out 1 fire giant. Then he moves on, he takes out another fire giant. But there's 1 left. And the bottom line is that things get really bad. And then I believe we get to the point where the cloud giant comes out. And the cloud giant finishes everybody off. And it's basically a TPK. And of course, I can't remember how it went, but somebody wakes up and they go over to one of the other party members, and the DM hands them a piece of paper, and it says, "Read." That is on the forehead of this individual or whatever, and it was a backwards, as if you're looking in a mirror type thing, written April fucking Fools. There's no fucking in there, it's just April Fools, but I added that because I don't like April Fools. So, anyway, so that's what happened on April Fool's night. Yes, we had a TPK. And then to top it off, I can't remember if it was before or after, but at some point, we have this gnomish ale with us. And my dwarf is a dwarf, so he drinks dwarven ale. But they have this gnomish ale, and it has, when you drink it, it can affect you in different ways. It's this exotic gnomish ale, and I didn't know it, but the wizard, once again the crazy-ass wizard, he had drank some, and I didn't know it, but it gave him storm giant strength. And he says to me out of the blue, he knows my character loves to arm wrestle, and he says, "Hey, Grunt, you wanna arm wrestle?" And all I heard was, "You wanna arm wrestle?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, arm wrestle. Let's go." And you think you can beat a dwarf? And my dwarf's got 20 strength, so we get down, boom, he just destroys me because he's got storm giant strength, and he starts laughing, and I'm getting pissed, and I'm a barbarian, and my barbarian has an anger problem on top of being just normally an angry dwarf or whatever. He was kicked out of his clan because his anger was so bad he was injuring other clan members, and that's part of his backstory. So I start getting angry, and so he starts laughing at me. So I decide to pin him, to grapple him. Of course, he just flips me over and pins me because he's got storm giant strength, and my character doesn't know that. And so I go into a rage, and the bottom line is he keeps beating me, and I'm in character. I'm seething because I'm like, there's no possible way that this little pansy-ass wizard who weighs 100 pounds soaking wet is beating me. And it was hilarious. It was one of the reasons why paper and pencil role-playing games, the experience can never be replicated, because those types of things come up, and you have to go with it. You have to go with it in character, and it's fantastic. Anyway, I had to tell those stories about our group back there. We're getting to a very long video here, and I said I was going to talk about Star Wars: The Old Republic. I actually did some in-game footage, but I guess I'm going to have to do that as a separate video now, because this is already going on 12 minutes. So I'll just say, we'll end this pretty soon. I'll just say that staying with the paper and pencil role-playing stuff, I have started reading this book, Empire of Imagination by Michael Whitwer, and I've just finished. I've only finished like the first couple of chapters, and so far it is astounding how good this is. It comes highly recommended by everybody. All the old school gaming people have said this is the book to read if you want to know about the. Let me turn off. I got something here that's making some noise here. If you want to know about the birth of Dungeons and Dragons, this is the book to read. There's John Peterson, of course, did history of the playing at the world, which is the one history of all gaming. I mean, if you want to know about all gaming, that's the book you read. But specifically for Dungeons and Dragons, this is all about how it came about and everything. The author did a really good job. I can't wait to finish it. But I thought I'd, in case you didn't already know about it, I got this on Amazon pretty cheap. So it's a pretty popular book. So anyway, that's it, guys. We're going on 13 and a half minutes here, so I got to cut it off. Look for the Star Wars: The Old Republic in-game footage video, because I wanted to show off how things are in the game now. It's been out for quite a while, 5 years or so, I think, and I wanted to give an update because I'm enjoying it once again. So anyway, that's it, guys. We'll catch you on the flip side.